What's going on, guys? Waiting for my guy Mike. Do not mind me or my hair. Looking pretty rough today. I had to switch. What's going on, guys? Waiting for my guy Mike. Do not mind. Woo! Trying to tell y'all, man. Shit is not for the weak, gang. Shit is not for the weak. If you're in here, episode doesn't start for another 4 minutes. I'm waiting for my brother to hop on in. If you could hear me, drop something in the chat. This is our very first live. So we're new to this. We've never done this, but we will stay true to this. That's a fact. That's a fact. Uh-oh.
I didn't mean to text you. That's my bad.
All good, all good.
Did you end the live?
I ended the first one, but we live right now.
Bet. How's everything look?
Great. You sound great. Look great.
Hell yeah. Oh,
Oh,
that was my bad. Let me close these blinds real quick.
all good. Family. Yeah, sir. And on the live, it's going back and forth, so we're straight.
I'll bet. Cool. Let me see something here. Pull this up just in case people are talking. See what they're talking about. We'll give it some time. Let people filter in.
Oh, what a mad scramble those last 20 minutes for us, man.
I know. That was crazy. We got it at the buzzer, though.
And
Do we got comments turned on? Are we allowed to? We got everything good? Okay, yeah, I think we're straight. Yeah. Welcome in, welcome in.
something.
It doesn't, the only thing I can't see like who's in here, but
My boy Darnell just subbed.
appreciate the subs, appreciate all the support as always. How's the day going, Knock?
Oh, so much better now, bro. So much better. It was a good day to start. So I was off today, so just kind of vibed out and did my research and shit. You struggled for that for that YouTube thing, and we're here now. So
Oh, damn, 8-year contract extension for Signetti. Shout out Waz for letting us know that in the chat. I knew he wasn't going anywhere, bro. I knew it. That's crazy.
to leave that situation.
8 years is wild. He's gonna be what, 72?
Is he? Wow.
Well, I mean, not right now. He's like 64. I'm just saying at like the end of the contract. Damn, 11.6 annually. Shout out to Indiana, bro, because they're not, we talked about it. They're not really, they're a basketball school, but are they really now?
Yeah,
That
they
is crazy.
basketball.
Yeah, he's there till 2033. That's wild. Shout out to them, man. That's crazy. The most from the university with the most losses in collegiate football history since the beginning to now on the cusp of going to back college football playoffs is crazy.
But you know what? Shit happens, and Indiana might not be basketball as we think, because over the past few years, as much as we call them a basketball program, they have been very underwhelming to say the least.
Yeah, we'll see what your boy DeVries does there. If, leaving West Virginia a little bit early, taking his son. So we'll see how that goes. Give me 1 second. Let me just do something. I'll be right back.
I'm good.
Then we can get it popping.
What's going on, guys? If you're doing it up, we appreciate it. First ever live. We're excited. He's got to secure his staff. Yeah. Yeah, for sure, bro. Because if there's anybody to go, I think you said it, bro. Like if there's anybody, Wallace, if there's anybody that you want to go after, it's that Indiana coaching staff. You know, the offensive coordinators, defensive coordinators, things like that. Those guys are going to get paydays.
Yeah, for sure. I could see Shanahan, the OC, being gone potentially. I don't know about right away, and maybe the defensive coordinator as well too that we talked about, just because of how good they are right now. What up, Brody?
Hey.
How we doing, brother? Appreciate you tuning in. Appreciate the 6 people we got in here right now. We're about to kick it off here shortly. We just wanted to wait and see if more people funnel in.
Yep. I didn't even do my hair today. I was like, screw it. Screw it. Mad scramble. Running around like a chicken with my head cut off.
Ain't nothing wrong with it. I got a haircut tomorrow, a little birthday haircut.
Were you getting litty?
Saturday we might do something. Feel free to come out if you want to.
Actually, might be Sunday.
Sunday, I got my niece and nephew's birthday party, so I won't be around the crib.
Gotcha.
Yeah. All right. Let's see if we got any more people joining in. Let me see. I might tweet out the live real quick.
Steeler game tonight. Yes, sir. Yes, sir, Brody. Bengals.
Yeah, me too. Deshaun Elliott. I didn't think he was gonna play, but he made it. He made it there. He was dealing with, I think, some personal stuff. So
trap game. Definitely a trap game was. Definitely.
yeah, I'm with you too, Was, to be honest with you, brother. We're not good on Thursday night football as it is either.
No Monday night games will really get you. They're just all
Say it again.
night games and Monday night games will really get you.
Yeah, I just I don't know. I hope the boys go in there and as Jamar Chase said, raw dog them.
Raw dog them.
Yeah, he's wild for that one. All right. Bet.
First, he's 0-5 away on Thursday.
Yeah, I seen that Was. I couldn't remember the exact statistic. I don't know. Hopefully we get after old man Joe. Ah, look at that. We got a stat off in here.
12-6 on Thursday.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Well, all right, Knock, how you feeling? You want to start this off? Should we get after it?
Off right now.
Well, let's do it. Well, shout out to everybody that's in here. My boy Phil, I see you, brother. Appreciate you. Episode 19. Crazy that we're already 19 episodes in right now. We are going to be going over week 7. Is it week 8 college football? It's crazy how fast this is moving. But I'm enjoying it. I'm ready for this slate. We got some good games on. We got one matchup on tonight. We got some on Friday, tomorrow, and then a lot on Saturday. Knock, you got anything to kick us off with before I start?
No, I wanted you to pretty much bring us in by talking about Pitt a little bit, if that's all right with you. And I wanted to hear your voice on that.
Absolutely. So one of the things I want to talk about, and it's a big thing right now, mostly on Twitter. We don't really indulge ourselves in the NFL and stuff like that. But I had to step in and say something. I'm seeing Pitt receive all this hate for the field and what's going on at Acrisure Stadium. I don't think people understand. The Steelers do not own Acrisure Stadium. Pitt does not own Acrisure Stadium. That is a part of Allegheny County. So they have their own ground crew right now. A lot of people saying Pitt needs to move off of Acrisure Stadium, off of North Shore, build something in Oakland. Point us to where, bro? Where can you build a stadium that's going to hold 35, 40, 50,000 people in that small little vicinity and create parking? You got guys talking about like it's the Steeler holy ground, this, that, and a third. Without the University of Pittsburgh, that stadium was not getting built. You could go Google that. You could go look at it. They had to come together and also fund that. They pay the bills to play there, just like the Steelers pay the bills to play there. Big Ben, you don't want Pitt playing there? Point us to somewhere in Swickley. Where do you want us to go? The Hill District? Bro, I'm telling you, it's just so annoying. You got people that Tone Diggs, who's big on the Pat McAfee show, he's talking about, oh, Pitt only, has 20,000 people that goes to the games anyways. If you pull up the stat, Pitt is in the top half of the ACC with attendance. It's over 50,000. And a lot of people don't want to believe that. Another thing that is very misleading, the way that the games are set up on ESPN, where they show it from, is directly pointing to the away side. So obviously there's not going to be as many fans on that side. If you switch it around and you show Pitt side of the ball, you're going to see that whole lower bowl and even the majority of the half is pretty filled up. So that's at least, 40,000 people right there. And then you skirt it around with the student section and stuff like that. I just think that the hate is very, very unwarranted. You got the University of Temple. They share a field, a grass field with the Philadelphia Eagles. You got the University of Miami, who also shares a grass field with the Miami Dolphins. And then you have USF, who shares a grass field with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Tanaka, do you hear any of those three teams that I just mentioned getting as much hate as the Pittsburgh Panthers?
No, not one. But to be fair, I think all those teams are getting their own stadium here in a couple of
I
years.
don't, besides USF, bro, that's it. That's the only one. So you're wrong on that. I'm not trying to be a dickhead, but USF is the only one. Miami's not moving anywhere. There's no room for them to move into Miami Gardens. And then same with Temple. Where are they going to build in North Philly? I don't get that. So it just doesn't make sense. If you want to take out like the anger that you have for the playing basis, take it out on the field maintenance crew who's supplied by the Allegheny County, and I forget exactly who the main owner is or what the name is of it. It's the Sports Exhibition Authority of Pittsburgh and Allegheny County. Go after them. They're the ones being cheap as shit right now. Not to mention, I'm throwing them under the bus. The guy who's the main manager of it all is a Penn State graduate. So tell him to fix it or tell him to stop being cheap and bringing in this cheap sod and this cheap grass. So I don't know what you want us to do. Do you want us to go to build something in Swickley or the Hill District? Like, I don't know. Obviously, me as a Pitt fan, I would love for them to have their own stadium, obviously, but like, the unsolicited hate, especially from people who have like a voice of opinion and they know that their followers are just tone deaf and are going to listen to them. Tone Diggs for Pat McAfee show. Like, bro, he played at Duquesne. There's 50 people who show up to a game there. Like, let's not talk about attendance whenever you went to a school right there that's mainly in the city and you have tow away bleachers that you bring in every football season. So that's my big gripe. I can't stand it. It's annoying. Obviously, I'm a Pitt homer, but I also am a Steeler fan too. So when you got a Big Ben talking about they need to move on, bro, like point us in the direction, tell us where to go. But let's not take away from the fact that Pitt University was like a big time ball player in building this stadium as a whole. It's not like the Steelers funded everything and then we're like, oh, let's bring Pitt along. Like, no, bro, they helped fund that stadium from the beginning. They pay their dues just like it. And guess what? They didn't even play in Pittsburgh the day before that game where everybody's talking about this grass. So I know I rambled a lot there, but I just had to talk about it. I think it's very, very unfair. And I would do the same if it was for, the other schools that I mentioned as well, too. So maybe it's just me, but I kept seeing that on my timeline and I had to say something about it.
Yeah, no, man, I hear you. Go off, take that sip of water there. I know that was a rant and a half, but that's all right, dude. I mean, I was taking a look back at Pitt's old stadium, from back in the day when they were in Oakland, and it's just like, it's just more of an expanded area now. There's really no place that you can put a field down there. So, just change the name back to Heinz Field, please. That's I,
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you on that. And it's like a double-edged sword too, because it's like I do wish that they kept Pitt Stadium, but at the same time, I do love the Peterson Event Center. That's now where the old Pitt Stadium is at. And more recent, I guess not recent years, but from the mid 2000s until 2000 and probably 14, 15, like Pitt was majority like a basketball school. So I could understand why, they did that. But again, if you think it's so easy, point us to where to build the stadium. We'll go anywhere. South Side slopes. We'll go down to Upper St. Clair. Tell us wherever the hell you want it. Just have a plan. Don't have your blinders on because you're a Steeler fan and you're also a West Virginia and Penn State fan and just want to throw shade at Pitt, the best team in Pennsylvania right now. So
yeah.
I digress. I digress. Knock, why don't you kick us off with your first game of the week? Obviously, for those of you guys who are watching in here who don't tune in all the time, we're going to be going over our games to watch. So we usually pick 3 games a piece, and then we go over some quick hitters. So, Knock, I'll let you go ahead and start us off here with your games.
I wanted to shout out the chat real quick. I see they're getting active. Cam, go somewhere. All right, we'll kick it off with Georgia Tech Duke. This is a toss-up. Ball. Spreads at 1.5. The over/under is at 60.5 points. There's going to be a slight trend that you see from me today, bro, and it's honestly a trend that we see weekly. It's just there's so many quarterbacks, so many good quarterbacks in college football, and so many names. And it starts with Haynes King. Georgia Tech is 6-0. This guy's underwhelming throwing the ball, even though he's a good thrower of the football. Only 971 yards and 4 touchdowns through the air. He really does most of his damage through the ground. He's got 440 yards through the ground and 9 scores. So when it comes to the red zone, Georgia Tech likes to run the football, and they are typically a running football team. He by himself is fourth in the ACC in rushing. While on the other side, Duke, Darian Mensah, another good quarterback. He leads the ACC in passing yards, 167.3 passer rating, 1,800 passing yards, 15 touchdowns, and just a mere 2 interceptions. Duke, they average 467 yards of offense, 330 through the air, 130 plus on the ground. And while their defense has only given up 730 yards or 40 yards rushing, so that's going to be a positive for them at home when they're playing Georgia Tech. It's going to force Haynes King to take some shots down the field. Duke's pass defense is their Achilles heel. They do give up some plays downfield, some shots deep. I'm not really too comfortable with their defensive backs. However, their front seven is very tough. They have multiple linebackers who are great at tackling. With that being said, I'm going to keep this one pretty short. I'm going to take Duke, the home team here. Tech is good at football, but right now Duke is as well. Georgia Tech is ranked 10th.
Uh-oh.
It's at Wallace Wade Stadium. I think they're going to be storming.
You can hear me? We good? You cut out there for just a quick second.
Yeah, yep.
All right, cool. No, I like that, Knock. I think this is going to be a really good game. It's one for Duke to prove themselves as well, too. The matchup I'm really going to be looking forward to is seeing how Mensa does against Georgia Tech's pass defense. So Georgia Tech's pass defense ranks 34th in the country. One of the other things that I think is going to be big for Duke if they want to win this game is to make Georgia Tech turn the ball over. So right now, Georgia Tech's ranked 99th in the FBS with a -3 turnover margin compared to Duke. Duke is +5 right now. So they're winning those turnover battles. I think I'm just going to be betting or just picking with my heart, I guess. I like Georgia Tech. I want them to continue to win games. I kind of like the money line just to win outright, to be honest with you. It's one of those games that is weird. Like I understand Duke puts up a lot of yards and stuff, but I'm looking at the ESPN analytics. Duke has a 61% chance to win this, and I think Georgia Tech, when their backs against the wall, that's kind of when they perform the most, or when they're looked down upon, I guess I should say. So give me the Yellow Jackets. I do like your breakdowns. The over's very, very high at 60.5, but I could see Duke, putting up 30. And if Georgia Tech wants to keep going with them, they're going to have to score 31 to get that over. So I like that, Knock. This is a really good game that I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, I think I tried to keep it like, you mentioned it over the phone with me earlier. We've been talking about so many specific teams that I just wanted to steer away from that. And shed some light on Duke, Georgia Tech, and the ACC.
Love it, bro. Love it. I definitely want to shed some light on this team. I know that we've talked about them a little bit, but my first game of the weekend, I'm loving this LSU at Vandy. Right now, it's actually Vandy -2.5, and the over/under is 48.5. So this Vanderbilt team, I mean, it's not the same one that we grew up watching. They're sitting at 5-1. This is actually their best start to a season since 2008, where they also started 5-1, but they kind of fanned out and finished 7-6 that season. So Diego Pavia just continues to be electric and elevate his play as his career goes on. It feels like he's been in college for 10 years right now, but he leads Vandy in not only passing, but rushing as well. But don't let that fool you. They still have a really good running back, Cedric Alexander. He's actually averaging, I think, over 6 yards a carry right now. We saw him against Alabama break that run for over, I think, 60 or 70 yards to kind of start the game out a little bit. And how could they not have a great run game with their offensive line? I mean, they have 4 graduate transfers starting right now. So that's a ton of experience. That's something that you really don't see across the collegiate level. They went out and made some big splashes in the offseason in the transfer portal and spent some money, and it's paying dividends right now. So the strong suit of their defense is their run game as well. Just flipping over to that side of the ball, they're only giving up 90.7 yards per game. That's 16th in the country. And how could you not, whenever you have a guy like Glenn Seabrooks, who's the nose tackle, 6'3", 350, just a house, bro. The dude is a tank. And then you got Miles Capers on the outside, who has 4.5 sacks. So I really like this Vandy team. Moving over to LSU, I know they only have 1 loss, but I mean, I don't think I'd be by myself to say that they've been very, very underwhelming this year. More specifically, Garrett Nussmeier. I mean, he's come in. I think he was the odds-on favorite coming into the season for the Heisman. I know he was looking to be projected top 5 pick going into the NFL draft. And right now, against the one thing that scares me, so Vandy's ranked in ranked games. Garrett Nussmeier has thrown 10 touchdowns and 9 interceptions across that matchup. So when the going gets tough, he doesn't really show up right now. So he's going to have to show up this week. This Vandy team is much, much improved even from last year. So it's going to be interesting to see. And they have to get Caden Durham started earlier in the game. They really cannot find their rushing offense right now. We've seen the clip where Brian Kelly, that fraud, was asked what's struggling in the run game, and he blew up on that reporter right after. So I'm not a Brian Kelly fan. I can't stand him. I do like LSU, so it is a little bit weird, but LSU can't solely rely on their defense this week with how explosive Vandy's offense is. They're known for big plays. They have a very quick tempo. The guys on LSU's defense are like weeks. They're going to get tired out. We see him throwing up damn near every week. So this is a game I'm very, very excited for. Give me Vandy -2.5. I even like them on the money line. I know that it's, the odds aren't too good. And then I even like the over in this game as well too. For Vandy to win, I think they're going to have to score a bunch and hold LSU to, minimal points there. But I like Vandy in this. I want to see them get a signature win. So give me the Vandals there.
Yeah, it's no surprise. Actually, let me rephrase that. It's much of a surprise to everybody, the decline of Garrett Nussmeier coming into the season. He was, 29 touchdowns last year. He's got 9 touchdowns, 5 picks. He had 4,000 yards passing last year. He's only got 1,400. Half the season is over. This guy might not even eclipse 3,000 yards passing. What Chip Kelly's done down there this season, I'm not really sure what's going on. LSU, like you said, they have to get their running back involved. They have to get the running game at some point involved. There's no continuity there. Preseason hype is a crazy thing, man, because in college you can have one season and you be all the rage, or in Arch Manning's case didn't even play and be all the rage. So this guy's just kind of looking like a one-hit wonder to me. And I'm not really too crazy about Vanderbilt's wide receivers. If I could switch it over there, Eli Stowers is their best player on offense, just other than Diego Pavia, and he's been underwhelming the last couple of weeks. He scored 2 weeks ago, but he didn't score last week. I think he only had like 3 receptions for 30 some odd yards versus Alabama. The wide receivers and the weapons, I mean, they spread the ball out, but it's a one-man show for Vanderbilt. Again, and just a quarterback duel, 2 guys going at it. I like Vanderbilt here too, Mike. I think I'm going to take them to the spread.
I like it. I like it. One last thing too that I think helps get Vandy over the hump is LSU has pretty much dominated this series. They've won the last 10 meetings. So it's going to be interesting to see. I expect the Vandy faithful to show out early and often. So Garrett Sussmeyer, that's hilarious was. Yeah, so that's all we got from that game. Knock, if you want to go ahead and kick it off with your second one.
Yeah. Real quick, Brody. Yeah, I'm a big fan of Ty Simpson as well. I think he'll be a good pro as well, bro. Yeah, I'll jump into SMU Clemson. Clemson has given me so much of a headache this season throughout multiple games. But you know what? Here we are, another week, another game, and another quarterback duel that I love to pick so much. Cade Klubnik versus Kevin Jennings, an evenly matched game on the offensive side of the ball. Cade Klubnik started off the season slow, but he and the Tigers have picked up the pace offensively over the last 2 weeks. He's got 1,500 yards, 11 touchdowns, 5 picks on the year, a couple of scores on the ground. But over the last 2 games, I mean, Clemson, 79 points on offense. And might I add, they only gave up 20 total points in the last 2 games. So I started off the season slow. That loss to Syracuse was just blech. And, the Mustangs, on the other end, they're no slouch, though. When it comes to playing football, when it comes to offense, period, they've always had an explosive offense. And Kevin Jennings is a vet at this point, 1,658, 15 touchdowns and 6 picks. He's efficient. He makes quick, decisive decisions. He hasn't been as mobile as he is in the past. I don't really think he's needed to be. And that's going to be a threat for Clemson, to be honest with you, if he does get those legs moving. But something about both of these teams that are pretty interesting to me is the running game. Both running backs are super similar. Both TJ Harden and Adam Randall, running back for the Mustangs and the Tigers, they both have very similar stats, both around 400 yards, maybe 415 at the most, 4 to 5 touchdowns a pop. Both it's hard, when you have quarterbacks that are so highly touted coming into the season, all that pressure goes on them, and I think some of these head coaches and these offensive coordinators want to put the ball in their hands, and I mean rightfully so, but when you're a running back for Clemson or when you play for some of these teams, you got to mix it up a little bit. As far as the wide receivers go, we've got two excellent wide receivers on both teams in Romello Brinson and Bryant Westco. These are standout guys, very fast. They're athletic, can make plays downfield. They make tough catches. Westco, I think, is a little bit better after the catch, but I like Brinson downfield. So both offenses show flashes. They both make big plays. It's going to come down to the defense at the end of the day. Clemson's defense is going to be a factor in this game. We've talked about them all season, especially their defensive front. At the beginning of the year, they kept LSU at bay. Against Syracuse, Syracuse couldn't do much versus them in the second half. They just had a lead, and Clemson couldn't crawl back in it. And over the last 2 weeks, like I said, they held two different teams in North Carolina, and I'm drawing a blank on the other game last week, but to 10 points, you know what I mean? So can you keep Kevin Jennings at bay? They're going to need guys like Avion Terrell. They're going to need Sammy Brown, their best linebacker, their leading tackler, to keep him in the pocket, keep him moving around inside of the pocket. I'll be honest, I like Clemson to cover, and I don't want them to do me dirty, but I don't think they'll do me dirty and screw me over like they have in the past. I like the over here as well.
I like it, Knock. Yeah, they beat Boston College last week, who is terrible right now at 0-4 in the ACC. But I like that. I'm also going to back you with the Clemson. This would be another game where if Cade Klubnik wants to show who we thought he was coming into the year, this would be it. SMU's passing defense has given up over 316 yards per game. That ranks them 135th, which is damn near towards the bottom of the rankings there. They do need to take control of the ball. They have a -4 turnover margin, and SMU has a +5. So that is one thing that they're going to have to watch out for. And I feel like a nerd giving out all these damn statistics and everything, but SMU is a very heavily penalized team. They're 114th, averaging almost 70 yards in penalties a game, too. So they're going to have to clean that up if they want to fight with Clemson. Waz, shout out to you. I know you're probably still in here. Big fan of Cade Klubnik. Psych. I'm not a big fan of him either, but I do think that he is going to be the better quarterback in this game. SMU has let me down. Even in their win against Stanford last week, they looked very sluggish. Just not the same SMU team that, made the playoffs last year. So give me the Tigers as well.
Go Tigers.
Go Tigers. Shout out Coach O. This game that I got going on, this is more for the sickos, I believe. I don't think a lot of people are like looking at this game and be like, oh, I'll tune in for that. But give me UNLV versus Boise State. Boise State minus 12.5, over under 63.5. Let's start off with UNLV right now. They do have one of the best and most explosive offenses in the country, ranking in the top 32 in basically every category besides passing yards. Anthony Calandra, the UVA transfer at quarterback, has been great for them, though. He's thrown for over 1,400 yards, 10 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. And he's also second on the team in rushing behind a stud running back, Jaden Thomas. He has 577 yards on 72 carries, which is crazy, and 6 touchdowns. 2 guys that I really like, and I'm going to be a little bit biased here for the Rebels on the outside for wide receivers, 2 former Pitt Panthers in Jaden Bradley and Day Reynolds, who have big play abilities. Now let's switch over to their defensive side. I'm not shitting you when I say that this defense is god awful. Like, terrible. No joke. One of the worst in college right now. Just sit back for a second, hold onto your chair, and listen to these statistics right now. So overall, they're giving up 445 yards per game. That's 125th in the country. Passing, 255.2. That's 118th. Rushing, 189.8. That's 123rd. And they're giving up 30 points per game. That is 108th in the country. They stink. Terrible. I don't understand how they are that bad. And yet they're 6-0, which is crazy. They have had 2 come from behind wins. They had to come back a couple of times against Air Force last week. And then Miami of Ohio, which is a crazy game. They traveled across country and got down, I think in the blink of an eye, it was 24-7. They came back and won that game. However, I will say they somehow do create turnovers. They have 14 takeaways on the season. So that's going to be something that's going to be big for them if they want to march into Boise, Idaho on that blue turf and beat Boise. So starting off with Boise, let's switch over to them a little bit. They got off to a terrible start this season, right? They had high expectations to make the at-large for playoffs, and before you know it, they were out of playoff contention within the first game. They lost to USF. They didn't look good at all, but they have bounced back a little bit. They're 4-2. Their other loss came from a very good Notre Dame squad. So like UNLV, their offense has put up great numbers. They do rank top 35 in all categories except for scoring, where they're 44th. They're led by junior at quarterback. I forget his name. I don't have it written down here. I have it. I forgot. So excuse me on that. I must have messed that up with the quarterback. Maddox, I think Madison or something like that. Madsen. He has 1,500 yards passing, 11 touchdowns, 5 picks. Got to watch those turnovers right now. They still do rely heavily on the run with Dylan Riley. He's basically their primary back right now, but he does share carries with Gaines and Sherrod as well too. So they have like a 1-2 with a little bit of a 3-punch in there. So look for them to lean heavily on that run offense, especially with how bad UNLV's defense is. The defense of Boise is very good in the pass game. They're only giving up 186 yards through the air, and Amarion McCoy and Ty Benefield, they anchor down the secondary. So I'm a big fan of Boise State this weekend. I will say both of these teams heavily penalized. Boise State ranks 123rd in the FBS, and UNLV, no shocker, because we talked about it before. For my Steeler fans in the chat, they do have Vontaze Burfict on their defensive stats, so of course they're going to be getting a lot of penalties. They rank 134th, excuse me. So for this game, as much as I want UNLV to kind of march on and keep this, nice little season going on, I know it's a lot, 12 and a half. Give me Boise State. UNL's defense is just terrible. They've gotten down big in a couple of games this year, and sometimes you're not going to be able to dig yourself out of these holes, that you lie yourself in. So give me Boise State. I do like the under a little bit in this game, even though both teams do tend to score. I think Boise is going to rely heavily on the run, control the clock, and keep this game low scoring.
I am absolutely right with you there. UNLV is like little brother to Boise State. Boise State just kicks the living shit out of them. They smack them around typically almost every time they play. And something interesting about Boise State, they've got three wide receivers with over 200 yards. They've got Latrell Caples, Chris Marshall, and Ben Ford. It's going to pose a threat to such a terrible defense. I mean, like you said, I mean, what they give up like 38 or 35 to Idaho State, you know what I mean? And shout out,
Mm-hmm.
they're not bad, but I mean, come on now, there's levels obviously. So yeah, I'm with you. I think Boise State at home, they ruined that perfect season. I think they covered the spread as well.
Yeah, I'm excited for it for sure. We'll see if Dan Mullins. I've seen his name circulate around a little bit for some of these jobs that might open up. But yeah, Grant King Tut for sure. Reynolds is a baller. Was definitely underutilized at Pitt. I think that was one of the reasons, unfortunately, why he transferred. But I mean, the dude's a baller. He's a former 4-star. Went to Florida, found himself at Pitt. Couldn't really make a home of it there, and now it seems like he's found one at UNLV. So I'm interested to see how he does against Boise State, but like we both said, give us the ponies.
Ponies.
Ponies. All right, Knock, kick us off with your last big game breakdown.
This is a little weird. It's an interesting one because the line to me is just a little shady. Missouri at Auburn. Spreads at 1.5. It's a toss-up ball game with the over/under at 43.5, which is quite low. Listen, Bo Prabula in his last game versus Alabama, 16 of 28, buck 67, two touchdowns, those late interceptions there, 11 carries, 61 yards. Mike, so far in the two games that I've picked, and now the third, another trend. It's the same trend. Quarterbacks. Okay. Two quarterbacks, Bo Prabula actually matches up better against Jackson Arnold, if I'm not, if that makes sense. In other words, he can throw the ball better and he can run the ball just as well. I like this kid, but I like this matchup as well. Listen, Jackson Arnold hasn't shown many signs of growth this year. But when your offensive line has given up 21 sacks to date, second most in all of college football, there's really not much that any quarterback could do in that situation, if I'm not mistaken, or maybe I've just been watching the game wrong my whole life. I've stated this before. Auburn has the talent. They've got the running game. Jeremiah Cobb is a stud. Cam Coleman, Eric Singleton. These guys are breakout, standout players. They have to find a way to get their offense going. At some point, it's got to click. It's got to click, and I think that this will be the game too. I think this will be a higher scoring affair than 43.5. It's just the disrespect I feel like to Auburn's offense. However, they're showing a little bit of love to their defense as well. Missouri, going into Auburn is not an easy task, especially in the middle of the season, conference matchup. Missouri showed a lot of fight last week in a tough loss, but Bo is still young. He still hasn't played all of those major games, I'd say, important games of importance, if you will. So Missouri is a well-coached team, and they're also a little bit more disciplined than Auburn. I'm sure a lot of people are going to ride with the black and gold, but I'm all War Eagle money line over here, baby. And you know what? I'm also on the over on this one, 43.5. That's no way. There's going to be an offensive affair out there. I think Auburn finally gets some continuity going there.
Yeah, I'm gonna go against you. Shout out to Waz and Bowie Trust. I'm gonna go with the Tigers as well too. I feel so bad for Auburn. I think they got to be the most apologized team from their conference. It seems like every week the officials are coming out and being like, yeah, we fucked up. The calls went against you. Like, I apologize. But I think that Missouri is just flat out a better team, especially defensively. I mean, you look at the guy, Damon Wilson, the transfer from UGA this year. He was a big pickup. He has 5.5 sacks. He's playing very, very well. And I mean, not only that, their defensive rankings are crazy. Their lowest defensive ranking is 17th in the nation at scoring, and they're holding people to 16.7. They looked pretty good against Alabama. I think their offense kind of failed them in that game, and I think they're going to be looking for revenge to kind of, get back on the right side of the media and the fan base and stuff like that, and prove that they could get it going. As far as like the sack totals and everything like that, I do think it is a lot of a letdown on the offensive line, but I also think that Jackson Arnold does hold on to the ball a lot too. So that puts your offensive line in a kind of like a gauge, like how many seconds do you have or something like that. If we could get some statistics to back that up, but just from some of the games that I've watched, I've seen him hold on to the ball a lot, which doesn't help out your offensive line, but they do have to be better. I mean, he doesn't even have 1,000 yards passing right now. So it's either a mix of he's just getting hit early and often, or the wide receivers aren't getting open. And I think it's going to be more of the same this week. Missouri's front four they're nasty. So I think they're going to get after him.
I like that. Yeah, makes sense. Makes sense. But
Yeah.
the home team, baby. Look at and
No, I don't think they'll get it. We'll see. I mean, I think Hugh Freeze is on his way out the door. We'll see if the guys change around their playing style for him and try to bounce back. But I don't know. He looked like a deer in the headlights last week against Georgia in that second half. So I think that's enough of that. We will move on to my last game here. A game that I really like watching each year. The hatred between these teams they're just fantastic. I'm talking about Utah traveling on the road to BYU, the Holy War. We got the Mormons versus some Mormons, but religiously open in Utah. So I think it's going to be a great game here. Right now, it's Utah -3.5 over under 49.5. Utah is coming off a very, very big game against Arizona State. I know Arizona State was without their starting quarterback and Sam Levitt, but they look good in every aspect of football except for passing. They didn't really have to rely on that knock. I know you were talking about that a little this week, but right now they're averaging 450 yards of total offense with 248 coming on the ground. That has them ranked 8th in the country. And I can't speak enough about how much I love Devin Dampier, the transfer from New Mexico. He came over, I believe, with their offensive coordinator, I think, came over to Utah. He followed him there. The head coach went to be on the OC at Utah, and he followed them there. I forget how that correlation started, but he's been really, really good passing, over 1,100 yards, 11 touchdowns, 3 picks, and he also leads the team in rushing, but he's followed very closely by Wayshawn Parker and Nakari Rogers. So they also have kind of like a 1-2-3 punch, jab, jab, hook, hook right there. But Wayshawn is more of the home run hitter. I do believe he's averaging over 5 yards a carry and has some longer established runs on the season. Ryan Davis is also the leader on the outside at wide receiver. He's been Dampier's favorite target. He's leading the team by that aspect. And then Utah's defense is just very, very suffocating. They rank in the top 20 in all aspects. And rushing is kind of where they give up a little bit more. They give up 140 yards on the ground, which isn't too bad. They got guys up front like John Henry Daly. I know me and you talked about him before. That's a hell of a name. And Logan Fano as well, too. So they're going to have to come ready to play against this BYU offense, because the BYU offense, more specifically over the past couple of weeks, has been leaning heavily on the run. So speaking of BYU, how good has Bear Bachmeier been? Throw out that he wears number 47. It's disgusting. Wouldn't happen on my ball club. Tell you to pick a new damn number, hit the road, Jack. You're not wearing 47. Disgusting. Andre Karolinko is the only guy that could wear that. But he's showing us that he's more than just a passer. I think he has been elevating his game as a passer, but he's also been elevating it as a runner as well, too. He's accounted for 7 touchdowns on the ground, and he has over 230 yards rushing in his last 3 games. LJ Martin, holy shit, is this kid good at running back as well, too. He's going to be a player on Sundays. Mark my words, some team is going to get very, very happy with him. He's gotten better each year. He's a junior right now, a true junior. He saw action his freshman year, his sophomore year. He's on pace for over 1,300 yards on the ground. And I'm also a big fan of Chase Roberts and Parker Kingston. They both have over 20 catches on the year. Those are Bears' favorite guys to throw the ball to. So I could see this Utah defense giving them a little bit of fits right now. But it's gonna be interesting to see. Utah is first in the FBS in third down percentage, converting 60% of the time, and then they're also ranked eighth in the FBS in red zone offense, scoring at about 96.6% of their trips. Now BYU is 10th in the FBS, averaging over 33 minutes of possession time. So I think this game is going to be very, very interesting. I think that they play two different games, but also kind of similar. They kind of want to beat you up a little bit, but aren't afraid to throw the ball and, take the top off of the defense. We've also seen leading up to this game, Knock, I know that I sent it to you. The hatred between these teams are so crazy. Utah or a BYU fan was making threats. He ended up getting arrested for the threats that he was making leading up to the game. But I'm going to step out of my comfort zone here right now. Okay, Knock? Give me the Utah Utes -3.5. I think they're going to walk into Mormon land, and I think they're going to overtake the Holy War, and they're going to be going back to the University of Utah with the win. Cover Utah in red. It's not going to be a blue state.
Whew. All right, that's a mouthful, and I like it for the most part. But I agree with you. 47 on a quarterback is fucking sweet. This kid Bear is
Sweet, you're nuts.
it's awesome, dude. It's different. And you know what? I like different. So
You're such a zoomer.
I am. I am. I can't help it, bro. But I get excited over stupid things, But with that being said, this is extremely difficult to pick. This is, why do we like BYU? Why is it that year in and year out, BYU is always in the conversation? They're always good football. I've very rare and seldom through my life have I seen Utah not being good. They're well coached. They're disciplined, and football starts right there. Here's my thing. As explosive as LJ Martin is, they've got some tough receivers, and I like Bear Bachmeyer a lot. I think we're going to have to ride out with you on Utah covering the spread. BYU's won the last two matchups that they played, both home and on the road in Utah. Utah won the three prior to that. But Devin Dampier, he poses a threat. They've got two running backs that they can maneuver around the field with. So that's going to pose a threat. At some point, I like undefeated teams to go down. The Holy War, this is the holy grail of them all because both of these teams are super tough this year, Utah had that game against Texas Tech. And I think for me, that's going to be the deciding factor. They got to see what true talent is. BYU, I'm not really afraid of who they've played thus far this year. I think when you play a game like that versus a tech team like Texas Tech, it's gonna definitely have you ready for down the road. This is a road game though, and BYU is very good at home. It's tough to win there, so give me Utah plus 3.5, -3.5,
-3.5. Yeah, it's definitely going to be a harsh environment. That is one stadium that I would like to go to, even though you probably can't have any beers inside of it. But the scenery out in Mormon land for BYU looks crazy. But I wanted to do a couple of quick hits here just at the Division I level as well too. So quick hits for those of you guys who don't really follow along with us or are new to the program. This is where we just kind of give out some picks that we like, talk a little bit about the games, but nothing too in depth. And with that, starting off just with the team that played BYU actually last week and lost in double overtime. Arizona is traveling to Houston. Arizona's -1.5. I do like the Wildcats, to bounce back and beat Houston. Houston is just they're just such a boring team to me for some reason. I don't know what the hell it is. But yeah, give me the Wildcats.
Yeah, Connor Wigman's not very good. That's why I'm gonna rock out with you and no Fita there.
Love it. Another game that I know that we were looking forward to is Alabama and Tennessee. So Tennessee got to travel on the road to Tuscaloosa, Alabama. I'll tell you what, it's like a tale of two teams right here. I feel like I think Alabama has really, really bounced back from that opening loss to Florida State. They've looked so good. We've seen the chat talk about it a little bit, but Ty Simpson has been fantastic. That dude does not turn the ball over. He makes smart decisions. Tennessee has had a couple of shaky games, really, just overall as a team the past couple of weeks. Now, I can see them winning this game, but I'm on the Alabama Tide for this one. Roll Tide, I think that they could cover the 7.5. And the over 59.5 scares me a little bit. I think if Tennessee is going to win, that over is going to hit, but I could see it not with how Alabama plays
Yeah, Tennessee's super talented as a team. I am going to take them to cover. I've got it at 8.5 from what I'm looking at. So the line is going to fluctuate from 7 to 8. If it's at 8.5, I'm taking Tennessee. Alabama's covered in their last 4 games and pushed in their last game versus Missouri. I'm a trend not setter. I'm a trend ender. I'm like Andy
football.
to destroy shit. So that's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna ride out with Tennessee. I think Joey Aguilar's a serviceable quarterback. He's been very good this year. Bama's defense, we've said it probably about 5 to 9 times since they lost. The defense is back. That's cool though. Give me Tennessee. Give me Tennessee first half at the very least.
Okay. All right. I like it. I like it. And then the last game that we kind of wanted to talk over real quick is going to be USC traveling to Notre Dame to take on the Fighting Irish, a rivalry renewed. They have a lot of hatred for each other. They've given us some really, really great games, especially in the past. The one that I'm more familiar with was the Matt Leinart, Reggie Bush era, where Matt Leinart got pushed across the goal line and they won with like 2 seconds left. So I do like this. I really think that Notre Dame has kind of found their stride a little bit right now. So their back is against the wall. They have to essentially win out for them to have a chance at the playoff. And I think they're going to do just that. Their defense is kind of turning a block there. They're finding out who they really are. CJ Carr has looked really, really good as the games go on. So give me the Irish. I think this is just USC made me look dumb last week. I don't think that they do it again this week. As soon as they start getting that number right by them and they're ranked 20th, I feel like that's when they fold the most.
Give me the Irish minus 9.5 because they just played a running team in Michigan. Well, they're going to play a running team in Notre Dame with a quarterback that can actually throw and some stud receivers in Jaden Greathouse. So give me Notre Dame to cover the spread. Jaden Maava has been awesome. That running game, they played well last week, but to me, it's a lock for 9.5. Anytime I say that, I get screwed. So I like 9.5 though.
I like it. I like it. Not a game that we're going to talk about here. I just saw it and it kind of caught my eye. Florida State has to travel to Stanford this weekend for a 10:30 p.m. West Coast kickoff. So that's going to be interesting to see. FSU is minus 18.5. I could see Stanford maybe keeping it a little bit close. I feel like Florida State's down in the dumps right now, so it's going to be interesting to see.
Give me Stanford on the freaking money line. Listen to this, dude. It's funny because I'm scrolling through my games and I'm like, damn, which games do I want to pick? And it crossed my eye. And for a moment, I'm like, you know what? I might take this. I can tell you one thing. What I saw from Florida State last week was bad. Uh, their offense they scored a couple points, but their offense wasn't really as existent. I think you told me, they didn't really throw the ball there that much. Stanford stinks, okay? And I know people are like, well, why would you tell us that? Da, da, da? Stanford's going to cover that 17.5, all right? They are going to be fired up. They love Coach Frank Reich. They're going to play for him. You know, uh, I keep bringing up Stanford. I don't know why. It's the Colt fan in me. Andrew, I'm telling you, man, it's going to be a weird game. They have to not only travel across the country, but they're playing that game super late. Well, it's 10 o'clock Eastern time, but it's 7:30, whatever over there. But give me Stanford to cover the spread. And if you got a couple dollars, sprinkle that on the parlay. Stanford money line. Let's do it and let's have a great weekend.
I love it. Yeah. Florida State has had some players out too. They were missing a lot against Pitt. So it's going to be interesting to see if they get them back. One specifically is going to be Deuce Robinson, who's their best player by far on offense. So if they don't have him back, I think Stanford has a really, really good chance to knock off Florida State and get Mike Norvell the hell out of Tallahassee. So, Knock, I know that you had, I have a couple as well too, just to highlight, but I know you had a Division II game that you wanted to talk about as well.
Oh yeah, yeah. I've got a couple as a matter of fact. Kutztown, PA. Just clap it up. Shout it out. Shout out Kutztown. Ranked third in Division II football. Quick little note, they've only given up 38 points all season. That is insane. They play Millersville for homecoming this weekend at Andre Stadium. Yes, former NFL Hall of Famer Andre Reed is a Kutztown alumni, which is pretty sweet. And before I get back to you, Mike, I want to highlight another Division II program that most people probably haven't heard of before. Colorado State Pueblo. Yes, you heard me. Colorado State at Pueblo, ranked 10th in Division II football, the Thundercats, Mike, and they play in the Thunderdome. It's a small stadium, huge track around it, nothing but desert surrounding the field. It's awesome. I want to go to Colorado State Pueblo. Pueblo, shout out the Thundercats.
I think is that the stadium where they pull up in like their trucks and watch it? Like, because there's not that many seatings. Like, is that what you're talking about?
Stadium, so that's I didn't hear about that. That's plausible though. I'll have to take
Let me see. I want to take a look real quick. Sorry guys, I know this is bad podcasting and everything like that, but um if not, it's some other school. No, no, no. I don't think so. It's actually a school I believe that's out in one of the Dakotas. That's a D2, but it's like the stadium's so small and it's so close to the parking lot. People pull up in their trucks to watch the game. But yeah, shout out to Kutztown. I was talking to you earlier. It's funny, like whenever I was in school going to Lock Haven and everything like that, they weren't as good as they were now, and then they just turned into a PSAC powerhouse in the eastern side of the division. They overtook Bloomsburg and Westchester for the crown. And the past couple of years, they've been ranked pretty high and have made it decently far, I think, in the regional playoffs. They usually run into Slippery Rock or someone like that and lose to it. So, speaking of Slippery Rock, they take on Indiana, IUP. So this is a very, very big matchup right now. So Slippery Rock has lost 2 this year, but they bounced back last week. They're back into the rankings at 25. These schools aren't separated too far from each other. They hate each other. So this should be a really, really good game to keep an eye on right now. And then another really, really good matchup is we have, let me find it right here, West Florida and West Alabama. So a little bit of a rivalry. West Florida is ranked number 3 in the country at 6-0, and West Alabama is ranked 8th in the country at 5-0. So this should be a really, really good game to watch out for. I know I'll be following for it, but I wanted to make sure I highlighted those 2 games right there. If you guys, are interested in the smaller schools, usually you could find the feeds if you go to their website or their Twitter page. They usually tweet it out. And then just one more as well, too. Fort Hays State is taking on Northwest Missouri State. Northwest Missouri State, I think at one point in Division II, I want to say from 2015 to 17, they won 3 national championships in a row. So they used to be a powerhouse. They're kind of making their way back up to it. Sick uniforms, sick color waves. I really, really like them as well, too. So I had to give them a little bit of a shout out.
Yeah, and one last one for me, bro. I want to highlight them from week 0 and week 1. The Roanoke College Maroons in Virginia. We didn't forget about you guys. 4-1 after not having a football program for like 100 years, well over 100 years. No, but about 90 some odd years, 98, 99, somewhere around that ballpark. Shout out Roanoke, man. We got you. We're locked in.
Yeah, shout out Roanoke, and it made me think of it as well too. Shout out our boys at University of Texas Rio Grande as well too. They're still rolling right now. I do believe they had an off week last week, or this week they have an off week. I can't remember. I was looking up with that, but I don't have it pulled up to talk too much about that. But yeah, Knock, anything else? I do believe that in Division III, there's a little bit of a decent game this week with University of Wisconsin lacrosse taking on University of Wisconsin Platteville. I believe I'm correct in that, right? It's number 4 in the country versus number 14. I'm gonna guess that they're not separated by too much. No clue on the geography of Wisconsin, so I just know that they're both University of Wisconsin branches.
Okay.
So shout out to them.
Oh, nah, man. Honestly, as we football season will be coming to an end here soon. At some point, we're going to transition into basketball. We'll keep University of Texas Rio Grande in mind as they have a.
Which
Go ahead.
they have one of the best names in college basketball. Have you seen that?
Yeah, I was
You were
just
gonna go
bastard.
ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Mike's always right. Yes, shout out always right, which is what my friend Mike is. Yeah, that's pretty sweet name, man. Pretty sweet name. So
Yeah, it's crazy. Also, shout out to another dude, a college that actually they played in my wife's division, NEC, Lemoyne University. I believe they're based in New York, maybe. I don't know. They have a guy. His name is Tennessee Rainwater, which is crazy.
that's awesome. Yeah,
Wild, bro.
grew up in Seattle. As Tennessee rainwater makes no sense, but yeah, the rainwater
Man,
makes sense. The Tennessee growing up in Seattle, being German, I have no idea there, but
yeah. Yeah, shout out to my Pitt Panthers as well too. They had two huge commits. I think I told you 2027 class. I do believe it is the 2026 class. Two kids from IMG Academy. Both one is in the top 40, the other one's in the top 100. Right now, Pitt has the number 9 ranked class for next year in college basketball. We won't jump too crazy into that right now. We just wanted to give you guys a preview that we will be obviously transitioning over to college basketball as well whenever that kicks off. So for the Hoopers in here, Row, get your lanky ass ready, brother. We're going to be getting ready for that and gearing up for it as well too. Maybe we'll even have you on to talk about what's that kid's name? He's a mix of basketball and football. I think Sheehan or whatever. He went to UPJ, played basketball, decided that he didn't want to play basketball anymore, transferred to Division II Asheville, I believe, or Ashland, and actually ended up getting drafted in the second round as a tight end by the
Bears,
Bears, I think. Yes,
Bears.
the Bears. So yeah, but I think that's basically all for us. Knock, do you have anything else?
No,
Adam Shahan. Yeah, that's it.
yeah, I'm all Adam Shaheen. I'm all good, man. Shout out to the chat. I want to highlight my buddy Cam. I'm taking the spread on the Trojans, but taking McCourt with the money line. That's pretty funny right there. I don't know. I don't know if that's safe. I wouldn't give Johnstown any kind of spread for any.
Ugh.
Just betting on the bleachers. So first touchdown against the Steelers, Row wants to know before we skip that on out of here.
First touchdown against the Steelers. Rogue, go fuck yourself, brother. It's going to be Jalen Warren scoring the first touchdown as he runs through that terrible Cincinnati defense.
Yeah, Brady, any bets do we like for Thursday night? I think Mike and I both are on Jalen Warren anytime touchdown.
Yeah. First touchdowns are a little bit tricky, Ro. I won't lie. I don't really like putting money on that just because it's you might as well take someone with crazy odds like Darnell Washington or something like that. You might as well, and then sprinkle some shit on Jalen. Had his first full. Wait, Adam had his first full. LOL. Oh, yeah. Is he even still in the league right now? No, I don't think so. Give me Aaron Rodgers to throw for whatever his odds are. They're playing in the Unk Bowl tonight with him and Joe Flacco. So give me A Rod. Give me A Rod and his over props. But I think that go ahead, knock.
Money line. Screw it.
Bengals money line.
Yeah, I just want to see your face.
Whatever, bro. Did you hear for the people in the chat? I know y'all will like this. Did you hear Jamar Chase's comments after they lost, talking about the Steelers? Then how he said the Steelers are gonna try to come in and raw dog us. Crazy, crazy. Get that man some PR 101. Nuts. I don't understand that. And then Joey Porter Jr. They asked him if he heard it, and he said, "Yeah, that was crazy," but he's not wrong in the sense. So watch out for the Steelers. Call the cops tonight. You see them doing some raw dogging. But I think that just about does it for us. I appreciate everybody tuning in the chat, interacting as well too. This is something that we're probably going to start doing a lot more of as well. So be on the lookout for it. Make sure you guys go give us a follow on TikTok, Instagram. Subscribe to us on YouTube. We're also doing a cool initiative for every subscriber, every follower on Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, that we're going to be donating 10 cents to a charitable organization. We'll be having those details out for you guys a little bit more, but make sure you go spread the news around and, keep showing love. We really, really do appreciate it.
Yeah, man, we appreciate you guys hopping in the chat as always and keeping us entertained. I just want to highlight real quick that Mike and I, about 15 to 20 minutes prior to the live, were unable to go live. We had to attain a certain amount of subscribers on YouTube. We scrambled around. We made it happen. We didn't make it happen, though. Y'all made it happen, man. So thank you to anybody that responded to our messages, for you guys coming in and commenting and taking the time out of your day even to listen to us, whether we know you or not. It doesn't matter, bro. We know what it's like to have a daily life, and y'all got families and things of that nature. So it truly means a lot to both of us.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And we're still very young. We started this obviously back in late August, and we're just getting started. So we're looking to grow this as much as possible. We have a lot of fun doing this, no matter if we have 5 people viewing our videos or 5 million people viewing our videos. We're going to be, the same people that we are today. We will be tomorrow as well, too, no matter what happens. So we really do appreciate you guys. It means a lot more than you know, but thank you guys for tuning in, and we will keep you guys posted for next time.
Oh, y'all. All right, sick. Sick. If you're still in here with us, we appreciate you guys. We are going to log off here. Hold on. All right, but I got to end the live, though. Hold on. Damn it.